Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to another Trade Talk video. Just a little quick one today. Not much happened day 2 of the trade period. I just want to talk about a couple of things that a couple of guys on the trade radio mentioned today. And the first one is Damien Barrett. He came out and basically flagged that St Kilda have interest in Western Bulldogs defender Zaine Cordy. He's an unrestricted free agent. He turns 26 in a couple of weeks. And he was part of the Bulldogs premiership side. So he's been around for a little bit. He's 195 centimetres. He meets, I guess, on the surface, the criteria of what I mentioned yesterday, in that we need talls in the back line and in the forward line, or at least that's what James Gallagher said on the Saints article. Couple of, I don't know. I just don't know if that's the sort of player that we should be getting. I see the point. I see, and they think he's going to plug gaps, but I don't like. Is he going to be in our best 22 in the back line, or is he just going to be at Sandy? Like, we've got Dukes, I'm not saying we don't need any tools, but I just mean I'd prefer we go for tools that are like tools that can lock down a spot in the starting 22 come round 1 next year, whereas Zaine Cordy wouldn't be the first to come to mind in our back line, especially when our back line's not really the main issue at the moment. Obviously, we need some depth, but our back line was probably the main success story of 2022, So I don't think Zaine Cordy makes us better. I think he's 25, 26. He's got time to improve, but obviously his stats are just, pretty standard at the moment. They're nothing special. I don't know. It fits a need, but is that all? Like, that's kind of all it really does for me. It just fits a need. It doesn't enhance us in any way. He'll be fairly cheap, I would have thought. So on that side of things, it's logical that we could be going for him, but and he probably gets more opportunities in our backline than theirs, I think. But I don't know. It just doesn't sit that well with me, in my personal opinion. I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts. I know a lot of Bulldogs fans don't really rate him, but we haven't, we've seen many stories of players leaving clubs when they haven't been amazing. They've been decent, not amazing, and fans have been happy for them to walk out the door, and then they go to another club and they turn into a pretty decent player. So that's the first one. That's Damien Barrett reported today that we are officially interested in Zaine Cordy, and I would assume that we'd probably get him. There's not many clubs going for Zaine Cordy. He's not really in demand at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of where that's at. The other one is another player that I mentioned yesterday, Sam Wederman from Melbourne. I believe he's got a year or two left on his contract. Again, another player that's a bit out of favour with the Melbourne fan base. He's had his chances, hasn't taken them. They've got a pretty decent forward line at the moment. Fritsch is kind of leading the charge there. Ben Brown does the job. McDonald does the job as well. And obviously Gawn goes down there and competes pretty hard. And you'd imagine next year with Grundy, that would be the case, that the Rucks would obviously take a tall stock in the forward line. So Sam Wederman, I believe, is one that's pretty likely. It just kind of, I guess, stems on what Melbourne want from us. And, he's got years under his contract still. So I feel like even though he's out of favour, even though I guess Melbourne don't mind if he leaves or not, the fact that he's contracted means that we're probably going to give up, I don't know, I dare say a third rounder. I really don't want us to give up that second or third rounder for Sam Wederman. If we do, that kind of backflips on what Gallagher mentioned yesterday, in that we want draft picks, we want to draft youth. So those are kind of the main two at the moment that are circulating, that are like genuine chances of becoming St Kilda players. Neither really excite me. I think Sam Wederman's obviously young enough. I think he's got obviously more upside than Zaine Cordy. I think that if we put him into the back line, that could be really good. But if we're getting Zaine Cordy, he's probably more likely to go in the back line. Sam Wederman, I guess, just stays in the forward line. You wouldn't put both of them back because you've already got Battle there. You've got Dukes. You've got Wilkie. Highmore can play there. Like, you've got multiple options there. Sharman's been playing back in the last, couple of months in the AFL season. So, I don't know. Just kind of meh. That's kind of the key term for me, meh. Like I guess it's logical in what James Gallagher mentioned yesterday, but neither really excite me a great deal, and I don't think they're not going to take us to the flag, to the promised land. Like I kind of just wish that we bit the bullet and just said, you know what, the only goal, anytime we get a player, it's just for this goal. It's not just a top up. It's not just to fill a void, to fill list spots. Like every list spot should be like hard fought. Like they need to be fitting. They need to be able to play best 22 football. Like every player needs the capability of playing best 22 football. I wish we were that ruthless. And then the last one, I think it might have been a couple of hours ago, David Noble. This one's not a rumor, nor is it confirmed in any way, so don't quote me on this. But David Noble pretty much said that there's about 3 clubs involved, or not involved, but 3 clubs that Tom Mitchell would suit. And he said St Kilda was one. And given David Noble's been involved in the review, he did mention off the bat that he hasn't got any sort of inside information from working with the club recently. But Tom Mitchell, I guess, was linked with us or at least a month ago. He wants out, or at least Hawthorn want him out. He's got a bit of a salary that comes with it, but looking for opportunities elsewhere. Collingwood's one, and then he mentioned St Kilda obviously being another, and he thinks that it would suit our midfield, even though I kind of disagree and think that we've got too many players kind of like Tom Mitchell already. He's a Brownlow medalist. He knows how to find the footy, butchers it a little bit. I feel like we've got a couple of players like that already. I don't know if that helps, although he's a ball pig. He gets clearances. Under the roof at Marvel, maybe that's at least territory. You win territory with someone like Tom Mitchell. So, yeah, 3 kind of there linked to the club today. Nothing really exciting. At least last week there was like a 1% chance that Jordan De Goey could sign, so it was kind of exciting. But this week, day 2, nothing happening there. Those are kind of the rumors at the moment. Let me know your thoughts on those, or if you've heard anything else, or if there's any other players out there that we could go for, you know, with our picks, or ideally probably not with our picks because we want to keep those to go to the draft. But yeah, if there's any other unrestricted free agents out there or whatnot, put them in the comments and we'll have a chat. In terms of anything else, it was interesting seeing North Melbourne trade, I guess, their 2nd and 3rd rounders and 4th rounders for Griffin Logue and another Fremantle player that eludes me at the moment. But yeah, those I guess were the picks that we were looking at for Brad Hill and Hunter Clark. So that to me basically categorically says no chance. They're not going anywhere. They'll be at the footy club next year. That was their North's, you know, sort of one chance of getting our players is to potentially offer those picks across, but they gave them to Fremantle and got the players that they needed to. So I think Hunter Clark and Brad Hill are going to stick around. And Ben Long, I think that maybe it depends on what happens with Bowes, you know, once he nominates Geelong or something and what they do with that pick, and if we can pinch a pick in the 2nd round or something off them, because they've got a stack of them. You know, they got 25, 31, 34 or something. I don't know. They've got a lot of them in that range. So hopefully we keep an eye on that and get what we need there. And yeah, that's kind of the news, Saners. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. A bit frustrated. Nothing really too exciting, unfortunately. This might be my last trade talk for a couple of days, pending, you know, if there's any breaking news or we suddenly sign Ben King, that'd be nice. I'll be away from tomorrow night in New South Wales for some family time, as I mentioned yesterday. So just letting you guys know if you missed that and the content kind of dries up for a couple of days. I'm not ignoring any of the news. I'll keep an eye on it, but it'll just be when I can find time to do videos in New South Wales. I won't be in my office. I'll probably have to do it in a car or something. So it'll be a bit more interesting there. So I'll leave it there, Saners. Thanks very much for watching. Yeah, as I mentioned, not that exciting, but is what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, please like the video. Please, comment your thoughts, as I mentioned, and most importantly, subscribe. We're getting a lot of subscribers through these videos, so thank you very much, guys. But I know we can get more. Subscribe, and you'll be notified on all future videos. So until then, Saners, take care of yourselves. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.